Wow. I am in. I thought I was in Calgary. This is amazing. The shadow. Thank you. God, what a treat. The shadow of McMahon Stadium. Site of many disappointed Edmonton fans. Every Labor Day. I admit it. That's a tough. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. I'm aware, which is why we have an arms embargo. I want to thank all of the amazing Calgary, Southern Alberta candidates who are here working hard every day to fight for Canadians. And I want to thank Chief McGuinness and Travis for that blessing and those lessons. And all of the chiefs and the community members from Treaties 7 and 8 who are here with us this evening. Thank you for your presence. It is so awesome to be back in Alberta, where I grew up. 3 months ago, almost to the day, I started my campaign for leadership here in Alberta because I owe everything to this province and this country. And I wanted to pay tribute to my teachers, my coaches, my friends, some of whom are here this evening, my friends who are here this evening, who helped me become the person who stands before you right now. A Canadian with Alberta roots, shaped by both. Proud of both. And someone who will fight for both. And we need to fight. We need to fight. So I have a question. Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready to stand up for Canada? And who's ready to help the Liberal Party win the most consequential election of our lifetime? You know, elbows up. Elbows up. Thank you, Mike. Last week, the U.S. imposed massive tariffs on the world. Although, not this time, Canada. We got the best of a series of bad deals. But 3 other sets of U.S. tariffs remain in place, threatening our workers, our businesses, our livelihoods. And they were imposed for different excuses, different pretenses, but they're all unjustified, they're all unwarranted, they are all misguided. President Trump's trade war has literally ruptured the global economy. And their system of global trade that was anchored on the United States, that we in Canada have relied upon since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, but a system that's had helped deliver prosperity to our country for decades, I'm afraid, is over. And our old relationship, one of steadily deepening integration with the United States, is over. This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy, but it is the new reality. And we are responding to that new reality. We are responding with purpose and force. We will fight, we will protect, and we will build. We will build. But we have a different kind of fight. We are fighting these tariffs with counter tariffs of our own, the American tariffs. Tariffs that will cause maximum pain in the United States, but have minimum impact here in Canada. And we are protecting our workers and our businesses. We are using every single dollar from our retaliatory tariffs to protect those workers. But above all, what we're doing is building Canada strong. And that is going to require big changes. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It will require big changes, but we're ready. I'm ready. I am not you can tell by my delivery. I am not Big Daddy, but I'll take it. I'm your Big Daddy. But I'm not a career politician. Hey? There you go. What I am is a pragmatist. And so when I see something that's not working, I change it. And that's exactly what we did in my first week as Prime Minister. Homes have become too expensive, so we cut taxes on them. The capital gains tax hike would have stifled our builders and our innovators, so we got rid of it. The consumer carbon tax, looked good on paper, it was too divisive, so we eliminated it on day one. And you will have noticed the price at the gas pump dropping 18-20 cents a liter. Yeah. Nous avons élargi l'accès au régime canadien de soins dentaires pour que 5 millions de Canadiens de plus puissent en bénéficier. 5 million more Canadians benefiting from dental care. Nous avons renforcé nos relations avec l'Union européenne pour que notre économie soit moins dépendante des États-Unis. Less dependent on the US. Et par rapport aux avions, nous avons conclu une entente militaire avec l'Australie et renforcé notre collaboration militaire avec la France et le Royaume-Uni, pas les États-Unis. Et nous accélérons le développement de projets d'infrastructures majeurs et faisons du Canada une superpuissance des énergies vertes et traditionnelles. Et afin de le faire, nous mettons fin au dédoublement des réglementations. We have done all these things, and I'm going to come back to being an energy superpower. We have done all of these things because we know that in this situation we need to do previously thought we're at speeds we have in generations. And we can. So we have a new approach, one project, one review. We know we need one Canadian economy, not 13. So in our first week in Ottawa, we agreed with all the premiers to eliminate barriers to trade and labor mobility within our country. And Premier Smith agreed. And I thought at the time, when's the last time the premiers agreed about anything? Aside from they hate the federal government. So they still do that, but they agreed on this. The federal government, we will do our part to honor that agreement, legislating by July 1st, free trade in Canada by Canada Day. We did more than Pierre Poilievre has imagined in all his decades. And that's if he had an imagination and didn't just mimic Donald. The Donald. Okay. Then we began our campaign. On day one, we announced a middle-class tax cut, delivering savings of up to Then we released a plan to build a stronger Canadian armed forces to keep our nation safe and our sovereignty unchallenged. In Windsor, in the face of Trump's tariffs, we unveiled a strategy for a more resilient made-in-Canada auto sector and took vital steps to protect our workers. We set out the next day a vital plan to invest in new trade infrastructure, including our ports, to diversify trade away from the United States. This past weekend, we unveiled a series of covering the cost of apprenticeships. Point here is because it's time to build, because of the scale of our collective ambitions, we're not just creating hundreds of thousands of jobs in the trade. We are creating hundreds of thousands of careers in the trades. We announced an ambitious strategy to double the pace of new home construction to 500,000 a year, and in the process to create an entirely new made-in-Canada industry based on modular and mass timber homes. And it's not far from here. It's not far from here. Is showing us the way forward. Yesterday, seniors during this crisis, as well as a bold new strategy. So we have done a lot in 3.5 weeks. And I want you to just think of what we could do together if the Liberal Party gets a strong, positive mandate from Canadians. And we need that. And we need that. We need that mandate because Canada is facing the most significant crisis of our lifetime. Make no mistake, President Trump wants to break us so America can own us. Never. Never. I think we're getting over the shock of the betrayal. But we should never forget the lessons. We have to look out for ourselves. And we have to take care of each other. We did not ask for this fight. But as the Americans are going to learn, Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. In a trade war, just like in hockey, we will win. They're going to learn. We are going to get stronger. They are going to get weaker. Now, hockey, like many of you, hockey has played a big part in my life. I grew up with the values I learned on the ice in Alberta, at the kitchen table in Alberta, and in the classroom in Alberta. My parents were teachers. And they stressed the importance of working hard, of supporting our community, and caring for others. This is Calgary. This is what Calgary means, right? My coaches taught me to be ambitious, but also to be humble. And I kept those values close when I was managing crises in Canada and around the world. I remembered those values whenever I was helping people to build strong economies. And now I'm drawing on those values, those Canadian values, to stand up to Donald Trump and build the strongest economy in the G7. An economy that works for everyone. Yeah. Now, I'm afraid Pierre Poilievre doesn't get any of this. Because, and I've seen this movie before around the world, Pierre Poilievre is that type of lifelong politician who worships at the altar of the free market, despite never having actually worked in the private sector, never having to make a payroll. He's a paper boy. No, he's a paper boy here. His reflex is always to cut and destroy. And so while President Trump's plan is to divide and conquer, Pierre Poilievre's plan is to divide and be conquered. We don't have, this is not the time for divisive, angry politics. No. Negativity is not going to win a trade war. Negativity will not pay the rent or the mortgage. Negativity won't bring down the price of groceries. Negativity will not make Canada strong. We are going to win this battle. We are going to win this battle if we are strong and united. United. Nous pouvons... Oh, I got so excited. I was so excited. No, I'm going to keep going. It's all good. You have patience. You have patience. That's good. That's good. Nous pouvons nous disputer au sujet de la politique. Nous pouvons nous disputer à propos de hockey. On peut être même une fan des Oilers ici à Calgary. Ah, OK. C'est un pays libre. Encore, j'espère. Mais quand il s'agit du Canada, nous sommes tous du même côté. Choisissons d'être forts. Canada fort. Now, what do the Americans want? The Americans want our strength. They want our resources. They want our water. They want our land. They want our country. And this will never happen. Never happen. Because Canada is not America. America is a melting pot. Canada is a mosaic. You look at this room, the diversity in this room, we're all Canadians, we're all distinct. In America, healthcare is a big business. In Canada, it is a right. Aux États-Unis, on ne reconnaît pas les différences. On ne reconnaît pas les peuples autochtones. Et il n'y aura jamais de droit pour la langue française. Les États-Unis ne sont pas le Canada et le Canada n'en fera jamais partie des États-Unis. Jamais. Jamais. So, having settled that, we're not America, what do we do? Fight, yes. But how and against what? The important thing, from my experience in a crisis, the important thing is to distinguish between what you can change and what you can't.
Crowd like this in Calgary for some time. This is a big rally and there's so much great energy here. And I can tell you, there's folks from across party lines here in this room supporting our party and our Prime Minister.
How much difference does it make having Carney as your leader than dealing with the name Trudeau in Calgary?
Well, the Liberal brand is strong and Prime Minister Carney has experience to deal with the challenges we're facing today. Folks in Western Canada and across the country are concerned with attacks against our economy from south of the border, and everybody is rallying behind the flag and a strong leadership brought forward by Prime Minister Carney.
Do you have any concerns about Western alienation and succession?
We're going to work together with all our provincial counterparts and municipal leaders to make sure we do work together. Our job as elected officials are to represent everybody here in this city and our beautiful provinces in Western Canada. But we have to work together, which we will, like I have, and we need them to do the same. Once this election's over, we need to make sure we're working together to move our country forward. That's what I'm focused on. I know that's what my colleagues are focused on, and that's what we're going to do.
Do you hear that at all the door? Like when you're talking to people, like hear that on the north of it all, that people feel that the Liberals are not thinking about them, especially when it comes to oil and gas. There's talk about it at West Valley.
I think folks want to focus on growing our economy, and that includes conventional energy sources here in the province of oil and gas, but it also includes new opportunities with renewable energy, such as solar and wind and geothermal, and focusing on growing all things energy here in the province and across the country. Canada can be a global energy leader in all things energy. We should be, and we will be. And so we got to focus on building our economy and making sure we're working on behalf of all Canadians.
Last question.
Why did the party only win 2 seats last time?
Well, we won quite a few across the country last election. We formed a government. We formed a government, and
Why 2 seats last time? Yes.
I won my seat in Northeast Calgary against all odds last election. And we have a number of strong candidates joining me in this election, and I know we will win more seats on April 28th.